Now, Minuet. What are the most important characteristics of the Minuet? The Minuet stands as the most celebrated of all French dances, and unlike other Baroque dance forms, the Minuet persisted as a title movement in classical symphonies and sonatas well into late 18th century. You can find some Minuet, or sometimes called even trio, but the structure is the one of the Minuet, in Mozart, Beethoven sonatas, okay, even on later styles. Then, so it's not common to find an allemande in Schubert's composition, you know, but the Minuet, is more common even in the Romantic period, okay? Then, according to Brossard's dictionary of the 1703, the Minuet originated in Poitou, I don't know how to say in French, a province in southwestern France. Early 18th century Minuet, which is what interests to us, music, features balanced phrases and a clear sense of rhyme or question and answer. What I told you before about the other exercise, question and answer, with the Jupiter, the Pastorella, okay, here is quite the same, because we have phrases of 4 and 4. It is set in triple meter, so forget about common time, you have a triple meter, with phrases beginning at the start of a bar. So you start on the downbeat, sometimes preceded by an upbeat. Then, the Minuet's character is moderate, similar to a gavotte, and does not exhibit the intense passion of the Sarabande. Okay, the Sarabande is a dance with express a very intense passion. The Minuet is more lively. The tempo in terms of so don't confuse, this is very important, the character with the tempo, because the tempo is the speed of the beat, how fast you play the beats. The character is more expressed in terms of intervals, in terms of leaps, in terms of diminutions, okay? The Sarabande is slower than the Minuet in terms of tempo, but the character is not so moderate, because it can have, the Sarabande, a lot of diminutions. Just to be clear on this very important thing, let's compare an extract from a Sarabande and a Minuet. Sarabande, no, we are where is sweetened dances? No, sweetened dances here. For example, Sarabande. This is the famous Sarabande in G major by Johann Sebastian Bach. Now, the rhythm in terms of the tempo is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's quite slow, but you have a lot of rhythm, you have fast note. As you can see, and you can even have faster notes. Look at the end. If you count the very smallest values, they are very fast, but the rhythm of the Sarabande remains slower than the Minuet. Okay, we have a big variety of figures and rhythms used during the Sarabande, but the Sarabande is lowest, even if we have a fast section like this, because they are on the level of diminutions, and so this is what makes the character of a dance. The tempo, the time, is another thing, is the beat. So even on a dance like this, which has the top voice which has 2 parts, as you can see, because the time is faster. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. but the time is faster, but the character, as you can see, has only 8 notes and quarter notes. We do not have a so big variety of notes to create a more expressive character. Now, Minuet, this. So the tempo, so the character is moderate, but the tempo is quite fast, described by numerous later 17th and early 18th century music theories as rapid, skipping style, very brisk, quick and speedy, very gay and very fast. Now, 3 ways to beat a minuet. These three ways can influence the speed of how we conceive the music. Number 1, letter A, with a tactus inequalis, the traditional way when you have an odd number, so a proportion like 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then there's another way described by Michel de Saint-Lambert, indicating 1, 2, 3, so counting each beat 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And there's one more level, letter C, mainly used by dancing masters. This way of thinking, since you are counting only one beat, the final effect is a cognitive bias. The final effect is that you have a speedier rhythm. In fact, dances, all the dances played on the harpsichord or as a soloist instrument tends to be slower than in dancing performance. This is even clearly stated by Michel de Saint-Lambert, even because of playing ornamentation and many factors. The performance of the dance on the keyboard tends to be slower than when you listen to an opera lyrique of the French style, like Lully or other dances where you have dancers. Okay. In general, let's keep A and B for our keyboard performance and style of writing dances. So all you think 1, 2, 1, 2, which is very appropriate, especially for the change of the rhythm, or 1, 2, 3. For example, if we consider the minuet we saw before, you can see that the harmony changes on beat 1 and 3. 1 and 3. It's not a case because this is the rhythm, the tactus inequalis. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. As you can see, the rhythm changes on 1 and 3, the harmony, I mean. Okay.
Yes.
Then, so we have phrases of the minuets composed this way. A phrase of 4 bars or beats, I mean 1 beat is 1 bar in this case. Then you have for each bar or beat 3 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The taps are usually the slowest level, where you can change the harmony even in a very fast way. All the other levels, so 16th notes, are merely diminutions, only diminutions, ornamentation. Then we can have very typical rhythmic patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4, taran tam pa pam para pam para ta tiri tam, for example, or other rhythmic patterns. One of the most interesting things is the so-called syncopation. As in the Sarabande, even in the Minuet, we can find the syncopation. What does it mean? It means an accent on beat number 2. Not so frequent, I mean, it's not so idiomatic and frequent as in Sarabandes, but phrases where the second beat is very important, sometimes, creating even sometimes an emiola, are very frequent. For example, here, this Minuet by D'Andrio, if you look at the beginning, here we have the syncopation of the Minuet. I mean, it's not something so idiomatic of it that you can find in all the Sarabandes, or almost. But it's another element important for the Minuet. At least at the beginning of a phrase. In this Minuet, we can find this syncopation in bar number 1, and then here in bar number 1 of the following phrase. If you look at the phrases, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the hemiola can happen here. At the end of a section, as you can see. Now, other elements of the Minuet. We said harmonic rhythmic phrase of 4 beats in length, 4 bars, with the beat corresponding to the measure and an internal subgrouping of 2 plus 2 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is similar to the Sarabande. The metric structure is 1, 3, and 2, so you have 1, then 3, and then the subdivision is binary. The thesis, so the release of the tension of an entire phrase, arrives on beat number 4, here. The beginning occasionally includes an upbeat, so you may start sometimes with an upbeat, a note before. Let's see if there is an example here with an upbeat. Among all the examples I put, no, we do not have any upbeat here. But you can find some minuets starting with an upbeat. Hemiola is common in measures 2 and 3. So this rhythmic hemiola can be found even between bars 2 and 3. Then we'll find some examples. Actually, an example is here, because we have our 4 bar section, and so our bars 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the last phrase of the first part, and you can see that the hemiola is here between beat 2 and 3, okay? Because the last one is the final chord, the last bar. Then, syncopation frequently appears on the pulse level in both thetic and harpsichord measure. What does it mean on the pulse level? Here, on this level. So, this syncopation. The examples we saw before. Then, a 4 measure phrase is usually balanced or answered by a second 4 measure phrase with a stronger sense of arrival, thesis, on measure 8. What does it mean? Let's take just an example. The first phrase has the thesis here. Re. But this phrase is followed by another phrase which is more conclusive with a more stronger thesis on beats or bar number 8. And this is a very idiomatic ending of a minuet. Here. Let's take another example. So this is Couperin. No, Dandrieu. Dandrieu. Okay, then most phrases in early 18th century minuets are constructed in multiples of 4 measures, with odd numbers of measures being rare. So you can find phrases of 4, then 8, 12 bars, 16 bars, okay? Odd numbers, for example, I don't know, 9 bars, 16, 17 bars are very strange, rare. Minuet melodies typically have a narrow pitch range and tend to move stepwise. This is very important. This is not a dance where you have lips and you tend to move stepwise in a very narrow pitch range. Syncopation, emiolas, and other rhythmic nuances add a refined touch, contrasting with the simplicity of the compositional elements used, which may otherwise become tedious. Since it's a very simple dance in terms of how the melody is developed, the use of syncopations, the use of emiolas, the use of these compositional techniques helps to create an interesting melodies, okay, than something boring. Now, another thing by Rippel. Rippel identified these 7 important rules for writing a minuet. 1. A minuet should always consist of an even number of measures. Each part should consist of no more than 8 measures. The beginning, so these are more suggestions, okay, you can even do of more than 8 measures, but I mean, your first composition, your first minuet, do 8 plus 8. The beginning or theme should be set off by clearly recognizable 4 measure units. So 4 measure bars are very important, divided into 2 measure units, 2 plus 2. Except at cadences, a minuet should always proceed in quarter notes, so we have a main rhythm of quarter notes. And if you look, even when we have 6/8 notes, actually what is important here is the melody in the bass. This is the minuet. Then you can imagine this has a diminution, even in terms of rhythm. But when you play the minuet, what you have to think about is 1, 2, 3, is this figure. Then, the second part of the minuet should employ material that already has been presented in the first part. And this is something which is generally valid for all the compositions, so to reuse the same elements, okay? Otherwise, you get something different. A minuet should, if possible, rise in the first part melodically and fall in the second part. This is a very interesting thing, and if we check, for example, this minuet by D'Andrieu, okay, you can see that in the first part we go very high. In the second part, okay, we start here, but then we tend to move down and we conclude down. Do you see the difference? So, listen to the first part. Then, second part. In the second part, we tend to move down. In the first part, we tend to move up. These are very little nuances, but which give a very interesting aspect to the minuet. I mean, it's not something that you have to do necessarily. It's not mandatory, but so here you cannot find something like that. In other minuets, yes. For example, let's see here. No, in this example by Couperin, I do not see this thing. Let's see this example by Bach. So here we stay around this level. Then, yes, it's even true that in the second part we go a little bit lower, even with the right hand, but not so much to say that the first part is high, we go up and then we go down. But for example, in the first one, this one by D'Andrieu, this aspect is clear. Here we go up, and in the second part we tend to move down. Okay. Then, the last one, measure 4 and 5 should be written with a recognizable difference, allowing listener to perceive measure 5 as the beginning of a new 4-measure unit. Why? Because we have phrases of 4 plus 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So measure 4 and 5, which are 4 and 5, must be written very clearly recognizable as the beginning of a new phrase. Okay, then this melody, focus on this melody. This is very idiomatic in all the minuets. And I mean, in the majority of the minuets, when you hear this, it's a very idiomatic ending of a phrase. Even we found another example before in D minor. This one. Okay, very common in a minuet, and to use especially at the end of a phrase, in the 8th or in the 4th bar. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the minuet. Now, let's analyze these minuets, okay? Because it's very important to analyze the music we have to compose or improvise. Now, let's start with number 1. This is Les Turbulentes, Minuet by Jean-François D'Andrieu, Pièce de clavecin, Livre 2, Suite 1. We are in C minor. clear that we have 4 phrases, so 4 bars plus 4 bars, right? Okay. Now tell me some compositional elements that you can see in the first phrase. So idiomatic of the minuet is this ending. Tell me other things. How would you classify these passages?
151, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to call.
Yes, actually they are little simple cadences. 1. That's it. Tan 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 tan. This is more similar to a counterpoint cadence in terms of scale degrees. If I have to play the basso continuo part, I would play a 5/6 here, so a counterpoint cadence. Then here,
Yes. And then
yes, and another important thing. Where is the harmony changing on beats 1 and 3?
beat 3.
And
okay.
sometimes 1, 2, and 3. I mean, you can even change the harmony on each beat, but the most important change of the rhythm happens on 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 3. Then, second phrase. Tell me all what you can see.
1 cadence and modulated prina.
No. We do not have a modulating prener here. The modulating...
Fa minor, it's E to G.
No. In C minor, the modulating prener will be something like C, B flat, A natural.
Oh, I mean the last, bar 3 and 4.
I know, but this is a Phrygian cadence. It's A flat.
Oh, okay.
It's not a modulating prener. Modulating prener wants the A natural and D major harmony. Okay.
Okay.
This is a Phrygian cadence. And what else can you see here? So Phrygian cadence. Here. What can you see? I mean, in terms of harmony, 5, 5, 6.
Is that syncopation?
The accent is on beat number 2. What does it mean?
Is it syncopation?
No. So we have these 4 bars. Bar number 1, bar number 2, bar number 3, and bar number 4. It's something which is happening between bars number 2 and number 3.
Or viola? Okay.
Yes. Especially in the second phrase, before the cadence of the first part. This is the viola. We can recognize this by the double trill. The double trill is very strong. Creates a very strong beat. Pom 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 pom. Then we have la reprise. So second part. We have a new phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you can see, we are reusing the same material. Now, tell me the pattern, the compositional pattern we have in the first 4 bars.
So it's Queen 4.
Yes, you can even play it if you want. More than a queen fall, I would say a 3 down, 2 up. Because
yes,
it's true that it's a queen fall. I mean, they are very similar, especially because we have an imitation here. but then you move to the 3 down, 2 up.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me what you can see in the second phrase.
So we change to
Play.
E flat major.
Yeah, but play from here.
Oh, oops. Sorry. So it's Hemiola.
Yes, another one. 6, 4, 6, 6, 4, 5, 3. Another hemiola, exactly. This is a connection to the following phrase to create a continuation. And then we have another phrase of 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 bars. So we have play this, the last phrase. Okay, tell me all the compositional elements that you can see, patterns and other things.
Monte.
Bravo. So the monte is pom, pam, pam, and then in the last phrase,
This one is Hemiola again.
bravo, Emiola again. And if you look very closely, you can see that now this Emiola, in terms of melodic movement, at least let's say here, pa, 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 pam, is exactly the previous phrase, just transpose a third down. It's the same, even in the bass. Starting from G, now a third down starting from E flat. So it's not only this an Emiola, but it's the same cadence, just change it, transpose to C minor to keep the coherence of the entire composition. Even reusing phrasing is very important in this style. Transposing them to other keys, for example. And so that's why we have a minuet. That's why this dance is a minuet. The union of all these elements creates a minuet. Okay? Nice. Sometimes it takes very little to improve, just a little, but every day. You look at a sheet of music and it seems like a random collection of notes, and now you can't connect them. But if you know how to reveal the meaning and the connection between the notes, you can discover magical and wonderful paths hidden among the melodies and harmonies. You sit at the keyboard, but you don't know where to start composing or improvising a piece. But if you know the right techniques, even just with a few compositional elements, you can create something wonderful. You study a piece, you can play it technically well, but don't understand what's happening harmony and counterpoint wise. But if you change the perspective with which you read and play those notes, you can literally change the way you see them. That's actually a kind of magic. Every month, every week and every day you can have something special and valuable like this. Video analysis, a lot of PDFs analysis and handouts of pieces to truly understand what's happening in each passage, in each piece. Improvisation elements like this of the other day of how to improvise a fugue. Practical exercises to learn how to compose music and how to become better at improvising. Fugues, chorale, freeforms and more. Composition and improvisation pills to discover how the great composers crafted certain passages and learn to imitate them correctly. All of this on Patreon. So much content to explore, so much to learn, and many preview projects to discover. Go to this link, choose the best level for you, and start your adventure.